Welcome back, everybody, to the ESL Hearthstone Legendary Series, brought to you by Newegg.com and Western Digital and Crucial. If you want to check out some of their cool products, you saw the commercial, you can go check it out at esl.gg/Newegg Esports. Our next series is the last quarterfinal of the day.
Yep.
We have ECOP versus SilentStorm. Now, this one's pretty cool because I sense an upset brewing. The first three matches, they went according to how traditional name power goes. Like, yeah, Lothar, Max, I know Lothar better. He's a pretty decent player. He got through. Brian Kilber, of course, we know him. He's a great player, Magic Gathering background, Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Went through. D2, BlizzCon top 4, semifinalist, got through.
Yeah.
This is where it's like, well, you know what? ECOP, even though he's one of the most established Hearthstone players from a long time ago, about a year now, he's also even won a tournament recently in Heroes of Cards. I feel like SilentStorm possibly could have something brewing on the front.
Yeah, a lot of pro players are pretty adamant about just how good of a player SilentStorm is. He's part of Team Magic Amy, and they've produced some pretty good players, and he really impressed us with some creative plays yesterday. He's a very fast player, and he likes to, when given the choice, play more aggressively than not. So, very exciting player to watch and very fun player to watch. And he's actually not bringing his mage today, so he has a priest in its place, and so he's bringing warrior, shaman, priest, and of course ECOP on the side. They're bringing hunter, priest, and warlock. So that's the same lineup that we saw last series from D2, and he had quite a bit of success with it. So we'll see if ECOP is going to be able to mirror that success.
Yeah, it seems like priest is the second most represented class in for today.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
I would, and hunter is being first, correct? Well, druid's been up there as well. There's been quite a few druids. No rogues still. No rogues.
Yeah, for sure. I think if you're able to get some kind of rogue deck working, it most likely will be when GVG first comes out.
Yeah.
Until then, it's going to need some help.
Maybe there's going to be some mind games going on where people are like, oh, nobody's going to take rogue.
And then they just bring out balls to the wall aggressive rogue.
Yeah.
Just like completely go all out.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, that would be really cool, but I think everyone's a little scared to experiment at the moment compared to these tried and true decks.
Yeah.
Especially now that like Sludge Belcher is out, it just stops so much aggression. Like you can never get away with just like playing any chargers if Sludge Belcher's out because they can kill 3 of them.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start this series off with Shaman versus Priest. I'm giving the edge here to ECOP if he's going to be playing Control Priest.
Yeah.
I also feel like ECOP's going to be playing Zoo. And I'm going to share this insight because I think ECOP's not taking SilentStorm very seriously.
Which could come back to haunt him.
Yes.
Because, I mean, if he watched yesterday, he would know just how powerful of a player this guy is.
I'm pretty sure that he didn't get to watch yesterday. I was talking to him earlier this week when we invited him. And he was like, yeah, shouldn't be a problem. Get top 2.
Yeah.
Easy.
Easy. Get invited back next week. Get top 2 again. Just continue the cycle.
Exactly. That's just ECOP's mentality, man. He thinks he can do anything.
ECOP is as ECOP does.
ECOP's also a great guy.
Yep. Not enough people
you agree with me? Okay, cool.
Not enough people give him a credit for being... well, a lot of people just ride on the... Oh, ECOP, salty. And that's it. And that's all they do. And he's actually in Hearthstone now, in GVG.
The thing about ECOP is that when you first meet him, he's really, really friendly to most people too. But
only when you first meet him.
But you have to, yeah, every time after that he's mean. You have to be able to understand where he's coming from.
Yeah. Well, where is he coming from?
He's just a goofball.
Germany.
Well, but he's just a goofball.
Yeah. I think a lot of Hearthstone players are just goofballs at their core.
Absolutely. Well, ECOP has an awkward hand to say the least. Dark Cultist is pretty good. It usually commands a lot of attention from Shaman.
Yeah.
The 3/4 body challenges everything.
Indeed, it
Feral
does.
Spirits, in this case the Harvest Golems, any totems. But now it's an interesting case where ECOP realizes that playing out the Dark Cultist, even if it's great early on, can easily get removed by Rockbiter. So he wants to be very careful with how he approaches this.
Ooh, the Ysera being brought out. He's got Ysera and Mind Control in his first 8 cards, so that's not something you want to see, but he does have a lot of answers available. He's got the Wild Pyromancer. He has the Silence as well, which big deal. We'll see if he can draw on it. Oh, and the Thought Steal, which It could add to the Pyromancer's ability to remove some stuff off the board.
Okay. You know, he's pairing together some pretty decent combo cards here. ECOP is, that is. And he's going to be able to use like Holy Nova with Pyromancer and do some cool wonky stuff.
Yep.
He's also have Aucanize, so he'll be prepared for a Circle of Healing. He's thinking about his curve though, and also I think if he drew with the thoughts that he might have too many cards.
He'd have to throw away the coin.
Well, that's definitely a reassuring feeling. It was like, Aucanize? Nothing else. Oh, okay, cool.
Whew. I don't think he'd be too upset about seeing the Aucanize Circle come out this early.
I wonder if the Hiccups happy to see this Hex.
That's a very aggressive move here, and SilentStorm, I said it earlier, he plays so fast. He doesn't think his turns do that much.
Well, I mean, you had to do something to that. And
yeah.
Since you don't have direct removal, like with like Lightning Bolt or anything, you have to go for the Hex. Unfortunately, that was actually a forced move. Versus, actually, I'm counting cards. Hiccup has 9, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. You know, versus, you know, if he had the opportunity to play another removal, I think he would have.
Yeah.
If you leave up that Aucanize Soul Priest, it's like, well, he didn't draw a Circle of Healing now, but you're asking for it later. So.
You're taking away a piece of that combo as well, so you feel a little bit safer.
Yep. Oh boy.
Oh,
Here's some magic.
Well, I don't know. Oh yeah, it is gonna clear almost everything here.
No, he's got a full clear here.
Oh yeah, he does. It'll take the death rattle.
Yep.
That's gonna trigger first.
And this is where you get to see some fireworks. And SilentStorm's plans have been completely throttled, but he's got Fire Elemental, so his rebound to fill the board is decent, but it just takes something as simple as a Shadow Word Death for it to get out of control again.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have the Shadow Word Death. Doesn't have an immediate answer to this, but I mean, he's got a lot of high impact cards. He will be able to deal with things later in the game. Mind Control not as effective against Shaman as it is against other classes, because usually the biggest thing you're going to be able to steal is maybe a Sylvanas if they run it, but other than that, like a Fire Elemental or an Azure Drake, which actually isn't that bad. And we saw, I can't remember who it was yesterday, Mind Control Azure Drake and then be able to use it for the greatest Holy Nova. Yeah, Connor, yep.
Okay, well, SilentStorm's still in an awkward spot here. Does he trade in everything? Does he try to go for... Does he ignore the Sylvanas, which I always end up regretting by doing so?
Yeah.
Does he just load up the board with a lot of useless minions with, like, his totems?
Yeah.
No, he's just going to try to be as aggressive as possible. And it's worked out for him in the past, but it's very high chance where it can backfire if things don't go his way.
And putting that Zombie Child on the board gives your opponent a little bit of extra way to stabilize. They can sort of choose a little bit when they want to heal for 5.
Yep.
Let's see what he gets.
Alright.
I don't know if that's good, though. He's going to have to empty his hand a little bit here. That Mana Tide could end up being a little bit of a liability. Even Thought Steal as well?
He wants a way to kill off the Zombie Chow.
Okay.
Oh, and his Lightning Storm. Whoa, that's an awesome draw.
Yeah. And he has Earthshock and Silence.
Oh, you're right. That's actually bananas.
Yeah.
If he rolls high on this Zombie Chow too, he gets a full clear.
Yeah. And this is the right way to do it too. Silence the Haunted Creeper. And is he going to hold on to the
Earthshock? I mean, you might not have to. You can use Holy Smite instead.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my goodness, he gets the high roll and he lows roll,
wow.
So that Earthshock would be finishing blow anyways. Doesn't really matter on the Harvest Goal. SilentStorm's like, wow.
Throws back his head in disbelief, and now he's in a really rough spot because not only did he lose one of his main card generators, he also got his board completely taken away from him.
Yep, worst of both worlds here.
Yeah. This has been ECOP just clearing the board so efficiently, utilizing everything that's being thrown into his hands so well.
Yep. His only out here now is to try and grab a finisher of some kind, like Alakir or Doomhammer. But the problem is his opponent has so many clears that he's going to be safe for a long time.
Including that Alakir. And the Alakir is actually a big thought steal because it gives you a little bit of information on what your opponent is running. Alakir has been pretty much a staple in most of the Shaman decks that we've seen recently. But I mean, some people will leave it out.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
You can always know that that's sort of a second win condition that the Shaman might have if you get through the Doomhammer and you still can play around that threat of the Alakir being able to come out. And he actually has a Flame Tongue Totem as well, which is kind of funny. So he could have an explosive finish.
Wonder if he pushes at all anymore. He saw Circle of Healing, so then you just Flame Tongue Totem, Defender up. I guess he just doesn't feel comfortable enough, so he's gonna trade a little bit.
Yeah.
Is he worried about Cabal Shadow Priest at all?
I don't think he really has the luxury to worry about much here.
Can't play around it either way.
Yeah.
So he's gonna hold on to Defender because it doesn't do anything on this turn. Next turn it might.
Yeah.
Oof.
Once again, ECOP has the answers to everything that SilentStorm is throwing out here.
That is just so bad for SilentStorm.
And there's just so many ways for him to stabilize too. Even if a big threat does come out, he has the mind control.
Well, this is what Shaman does. Like, Shaman's supposed to just continue, or sorry, what Priest does. Priest continues just to wipe the board of Shaman every single time.
Yeah, yeah. Shaman could fare a little bit better against the Death Rattle type Priest, just because there's not quite as many removals. That wild Pyromancer play that we saw earlier would just not be possible. But you can really be conservative with your removal.
Ooh, man.
Yeah, he rolled low on both those targets.
Right, and he loses 2 damage every single low roll. So, now how do you deal with these big threats? What if he just plops down Ysera?
You got nothing. He's been through both hexes or just one hex?
1 hex.
Okay.
And he's just going to shoot down this Flame Tongue Totem. The fire of the holy gods of priests. And he gets the Ysera Awakens, that'd be devastating.
Laughing Sister.
It's actually not bad either.
Oh!
Okay.
The most underappreciated of the dream cards.
I think she's properly appreciated, in my opinion. And that appreciation is none.
I'm on Team Laughing Sister.
Although, in this spot, it's actually not as bad as you might think. How do you deal with a Laughing Sister as Shaman?
Ignored it.
Right?
Well,
is it time for some wins?
I think it is. When else are you going to use it? And then even if your opponent plays his own, you could just tap 2 Alakirs.
Oh my goodness. He's got the legendary Windlord, and now there's really nothing that SilentStorm can do. He doesn't have Hex anymore.
SilentStorm's like, well, this is awkward.
It's like he thought stole Lightning Storm and my heavy-hitting legendaries. He needed precisely those 2 cards to beat me.
Yeah, this guy's deck is crazy.
Okay. Well, this is one of those things where I think you might scoop it up soon. Say thanks for playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, SilentStorm's a champ. He's gonna hold out and see if he sees any more cards.
Oh,
I think it's a legitimate strategy for sure.
Yeah.
Because this is always an awkward spot where it's like, well, Priest actually can't kill Shaman for at least a couple more turns here.
Yep. And this is a little bit of a weird play because Shadow Madness isn't as effective as you might think first looking, because you won't be able to super efficiently clear.
This is really funny, actually. Ah!
Oh!
That's not bad draw either.
He could steal the Healing Totem and just draw more cards.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's going to use Shadow Madness first, though, to clear these.
Yeah.
Nice small little puzzle here from ECOP to solve how to kill off these minions pretty effectively. And then Laughing Sister is pretty clutch here.
Yeah, not only did he clear it effectively, he also got a card out of it, so it's really nice play. Well, he can take away the Alakir, but I mean, how much is that going to actually do to you?
Well, the problem is now this Earth Shock really doesn't do much in the grand scheme of things. It gives him a little bit of extra damage, so he has to use his Rock Player to clear instead. So.
Yeah.
Now he's going to rely on his own Alec here to potentially burst and finish the game, but this is where you start to really pile it on. Oh man, Cabal Shadow Reese to take away Defender of Argus.
The only creature that he even had left, and
brutal.
I don't think even Alec here or the perfect draws for the next couple turns is going to really save him too much.
Azure Drake into Lightning Storm.
Yeah, that's not it.
If you get Azure Drake into Lightning Storm to high rolls on all of them, that actually would have been a way to come back into the game.
True. But he's still running out of win conditions here, and he hasn't seen the mind control yet. Knows it's coming because it's control priest. So he can just take it away. You'd have to really set up that burst with Alec here to be able to play around it. But I mean, he's still going to stick in this game. He's going to try and see exactly what's in this deck from ECOP. Maybe try and draw into some miracle answers to finish the game. But definitely looking very, very grim for SilentStorm right now.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, this has been a perceived win for a while, but at the same time, ECOP's being really careful. And that's what you have to do here, honestly. Because as much as SilentStorm is seeing a lot more of your deck,
yeah,
you're also seeing his deck.
Yep, exactly.
And which might come into play for the next turns, or next games, excuse me.
ECOP is a brick wall. He doesn't show emotion at all.
Oh, he does. You just have to...
Just get his poker face on.
Yeah.
These guys can actually see each other's webcams, by the way.
You just have to play a lot of Ragnaros and Ogre Ninjas and...
Mogre the Ogre.
Like Crackles.
Crackles.
Ogre the Ogre, yep, exactly. Well, that's going to do it for game number 1, and SilentStorm drops it, but that was a matchup I don't think he was expecting to win when he saw it. It's like Priest versus Shaman. It's like, well, this one is really hard.
Yeah, such a tough matchup there, and especially the Control Priest. Death Rattle, you have a bit more of a chance, but there's just so many ways for a Priest to be able to clear the board. I mean, we just saw it right there. He didn't even have to use Alkanai Circle, which is a huge one as it is. He used the Pyromancers and the Holy Novas really effectively, and that's going to get him off to a really good start. What was the second matchup? Was ECOP's...
Oh, you're asking what the lineup is.
Yeah.
I think it's Warrior versus Hunter.
Okay. And it was SilentStorm's Warrior versus ECOP's Hunter. Okay.
That's right.
Well, that's a little bit better of a matchup for SilentStorm, I'd say. There's a big debate between who is actually favored in this matchup. And I think we're both in agreement that it's that Warrior. I think you're more...
I think I actually favor the Hunter.
You favor the Hunter? Okay.
Yeah,
how much? What would your percentage be on that one?
About 5%.
So 45-55 in
10%,
favor of the Hunter.
10%.
10%er. Wow. So that's a pretty big deal. I'd probably say it's very close to 50-50 either way, but I give Warrior a slight edge. Just because I think Warrior has more
51.
opportunities to stabilize.
51%?
51.5. We'll go with 51.5.
Okay.
It's very close, though, and it can go either way. I just think the Warrior has more opportunities to stabilize than the Hunter does to be able to close out.
Sure.
But, I mean, still, though, Hunter is one of those decks that can just take games off of anybody at any time. And it's, especially with a great start, sometimes if a Warrior doesn't draw into his weapons early on, can't clear those Undertakers early on, then he's done for.
Yeah, makes sense to me. Well, let's go into game number 2 and see if ECOP can keep it up for the old guard, or will SilentStorm, one of the new up-and-coming players, once again surprise people. We're going to Warrior versus Hunter now. He did have Armorsmith and Cool Taskmaster and threw away Acolyte, and I was asking you the other day, was it yesterday?
Yeah.
Like, do you ever mulligan away Acolyte? And SilentStorm seems to be much more aggressive about it to try to get Fiery War Axe.
Yeah. Against Hunter, I almost always mulligan away Acolyte of Pain, just because
Too slow.
Way too slow. You don't have time to throw it down and wait for card draw.
Ooh. Well, he has the Stranglethorn Tiger in his deck. That's by choice.
Yep.
And that's greater against the Mirror. It's also pretty decent against Warrior because they can't clear it as easily.
Yeah.
Without Brawl.
A lot of times, especially against Warrior, you're almost guaranteed 10 damage from that Stranglethorn Tiger. Because even if they can clear it on the next turn, most of the time it's usually like with a Death Spite or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes they'll have the shield save of,
Armorsmith.
Armorsmith or something.
This is actually really intelligent by ECOP as well, so that way Cool Taskmaster will actually force the Armorsmith to die.
Yeah.
Very clever. And that's actually keeping That's gonna keep ECOP away from being able to blow out, or sorry, SilentStorm from being able to blow out a win here.
Yeah.
This is pretty good too, and Armorsmith just died, so now you can play this Undertaker and trade minions pretty easily.
Yeah, and taking out those Undertakers early, I mean, sometimes it can be a little tough if you're the Hunter player, but taking them out early gives you sort of that peace of mind for later in the game where...
Yep. Shredding the armor is pretty nice too, so
yeah.
that way... I mean, I think either attack is okay in this position.
Yeah.
Because I think I favor killing it off a little bit more because he's likely to have Death Spite or Fiery War Axe or Death Spite in the next couple turns anyways.
Yeah.
So like the shield armor doesn't really matter as much. And you want to protect your Haunted Creeper as well.
Not a great hand here for SilentStorm. He doesn't have really any answers. The one thing that he can take away is, well, no, it's not even a Harrison Jones turn yet. So he's got 0 plays for this next turn. If he doesn't draw into something that's impactful right now, this could be bad.
Oh, that is impactful.
That's something.
It does something, quite literally.
Yes.
It removes 1 attack on the Undertaker. Well, and 1 health. It's a -1/1.
And it also removes the potential of that Undertaker.
Well, we know that the Undertaker wasn't getting buffed anytime soon.
Yeah. Just cut off that Undertaker's legs. Does he have legs?
I don't know. You can never tell with the picture.
I think he's a specter. I think he's a ghost.
Deathbite's actually a pretty decent draw, but I think Harrison Jones on curve here is a little bit too good.
Yeah, yeah.
But then you
might not find room for the Harrison Jones as this game goes on.
True to that. I think he wants to pop the trap too, so that way he can collect too.
Oh, definitely. Ooh, but Snake Trap. Oh no, that's gonna be so much damage that he's gonna take next turn.
Well, maybe he trades into it. Either way, that Eagle Horn bow belongs in a museum. And now that's a lot of damage staring the opposite direction. There's a Hunter's Mark, by the way, in ECOP's deck. That is devastating.
Yeah, I wonder which museum all those Eagle Horns bow actually goes into. That's probably really...
Harrison's museum.
It's probably a really boring museum because it's just filled with the same weapons over and over again.
What if I said, Zumo, tomorrow we're going to go to a museum that's going to be filled with all kinds of cool guns and weapons and axes from the Warcraft universe that you can actually like play around with and stuff?
I would say, Frodan, let's go bowling instead, because that'd be more interesting.
You've officially uninvited yourself to the museum. Congratulations. I hope you're happy.
You've officially uninvited yourself to go bowling, so I hope you're happy.
I am. I certainly am. I don't know if SilentStorm is happy about this, though. He's taking a lot of damage and beating. Those 1/1s add up. Oh, wow.
That is like a fantastic draw right now.
That was like the one card he needed. Wow. Oh my goodness.
Jeez.
I feel like this is all of a sudden like become a reversal of roles here. It's like similar to the AP drop versus D2 game where it's like, well, he just cleared the Hunter board once. Yeah. He actually committed way too much to it.
Yeah, and once a Hunter commits that much to a board and it gets cleared, especially against a Warrior, sometimes it can be really hard for them to sort of pull themselves back into the game. And here, oh, Baron get in.
I mean, it's damage going the opposite direction, too.
It's risky. It's very risky.
13 health. I guess you're okay with Baron getting living like a turn, right? So that it does damage back to him?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I guess if he's going to silence it, then.
Well, silence it would sort of save him some damage.
Well, it saves him some damage, but it also damages his opponent as well.
Yeah.
It's still the turn before Alexstrasza. I think you need that owl in case he has a, what's it called? The...
Sludge Belcher?
Sludge Belcher. You're right. Thank you.
Yeah, those Sludge Belchers are sort of the bane of Hunter, especially if you can put like a... Wow.
SilentStorm things.
I mean, if you look at his hand right now, what other choice did he have in that situation?
He had play defensive armor up, but... Oh man, it's gonna come down to a couple of draws here. This Animal Companion could be so big, right? If he gets Huffer?
Huffer would be 6, 7, 8 damage.
Oh, it's 8 damage? What's the trap? What's the trap? Is it an explosive trap? Is it snake trap? Like, what trap is it?
Oh, snake trap.
Oh, it's snake trap. He's 1 damage off. I thought if he had explosive trap, he could have been able to push for it.
But if he... Wow, 1 damage off Lidl.
SilentStorm's like, oh my god, does he have it?
This is a really tough situation because he's dead next turn. He's got 5 health.
He's dead no matter what. What if he clears the board?
How can he clear the board?
You're right, he can't clear the board.
Yeah, I mean, I guess silencing the Grommash and clearing away the Baron Geddon would be the only way that he would live.
Hypothetically?
Hypothetically. I mean, we know that it wouldn't be the case because of the Fire War Axe, but I think that's his only line of play.
So he needed Misha to survive? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
No, I don't know if that would have even helped him because it was Execute.
Yeah.
So the Animal Companion needed to be a kill command. That was his only out.
Yeah, yeah.
SilentStorm has evened up this series.
Wow. Such a timely Whirlwind draw as well. And, just draws a Sledge Belcher for good measure here.
Well, he has to... He has to test with the War Axe first, right? Because he doesn't know what trap it is, if it's Freezing Trap. Boom! And he's like, oh, well, I guess I win.
Yes! Alrighty. Well then. Now that's going to tie it up, and so this is that's the risk that you take by overextending as a hunter. I mean, you don't really have a choice, but as soon as Warrior gets like 1 clear on the board, then they can usually get to the point where they're able to stabilize in the game. So many tools to be able to do that, especially as the match goes on. But we are going to move into match number 3, tied 1-1. So we will be actually going to the blind pick phase into this game as well, or into this match as well after this one. Because SilentStorm has tied it up.
You confused me for a second. I was like, oh, well.
You know what, Froden? I confused myself for a second as well.
Well, as long as you can find a way out of the woods. I mean, as long as you got your compass, you'll be good.
You know I live in the woods.
Oh, my God.
Metaphorically speaking.
Good. I mean, if he was literally speaking, I'd be like, well, that explains a lot why there's leaves on my couch yesterday night. SilentStorm has Priest against Warlock, and... we didn't see him play Priest yesterday. That Priest was a Mage instead.
Yeah.
ECOP, I feel like he's playing Zoo. I think he's going to agree with a lot of people that Handlock got hit a lot harder on the Soulfire nerf than,
I would agree.
Than Zoo. So we'll see if that is the case here, if he's able to play Zoo. But, you know, maybe he mixes up and plays Handlock. ECOP was one of the first players to really push Handlock onto the scene.
Yeah, yeah.
He was a guy that really innovated it a little bit too, and he was a great player. So... it'd be cool to see him bring Handlock back, but I just feel like Zoo's too good, granted the recent nerfs.
Yeah, brought it back.
Compared to Handlock.
ECOP brought it out in the ESGN fight night.
That's right, that's right.
Yeah.
Also in some of the show matches previously to it.
Yeah, I think you're pretty familiar with the ESGN fight night.
A little bit, yeah. I had some experience dabbling with that.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I did meet ECOP a couple times doing the entire thing.
All right, well, looks like we are going to jump into mulligans here.
He is not happy about that. Keep in mind that these guys don't know the class lineups at all entering the series. They don't know what classes they have, and you know, ECOP's like, well, I picked Zoo into Priest. That's not good.
Yeah, the tournament format is sort of to simulate a ladder environment, and we do everything that we can to do that. Of course, trying out ESL, experimenting with some new tournament formats, seeing how it works.
Ooh. I wonder if SilentStorm's going to wonder if it's Handlock after he passes on turn 1. He's like, no, not Handlock. I'm playing Priest.
He does look a little bit confused. He's like, what the heck is going on? Oh, this is going to give it away.
Oh, of course.
I think SilentStorm's probably pretty happy.
Like, good.
Yeah.
And you just smite that thing down with fury.
Yeah. Having a Zoo Warlock pass on turn 1 and then have the ability to deal with his board on turn 2. It's like the Priest dream.
Certainly is, but still a long way from the game being over. Lots of factors could decide it. You know, one of them being a really powerful start with injured Blade Master.
Yep.
So much health, but this is where Soulfire actually is really. Oh wait, no, it costs 1 mana.
Yeah, he would have to. He wouldn't have any follow-up play if he Soulfired here, and he would also have to sacrifice both of his creatures in here.
Right. Well, I was thinking if he has Soulfire costing 0, but.
Oh yeah.
Yep. It's a little unfortunate, just like you said, not quite what was his plan. Again, next turn he would have had Loatheb Soulfire too. Like, this 1 mana cost nerf is such a big deal.
Yeah, this is pretty brutal. He also has a Holy Nova in his hand, which pretty fantastic card, especially if you already have a board against Zoo. Because not only will you be able to help clear the board, but you can also heal up your own creatures. And since right now he has a Sledge Belcher and a... Well, I mean, this is going to help him clear it pretty well.
The injured Blade Master.
Yeah.
Needs to keep his Lotheb. That's too bad.
Yeah, these boards can swing back and forth so much. I mean, Zoo is, as a deck, that's pretty much what they do. Just have so many immediate effects on the board that they're able to have a big swing turn with cards like Soulfire.
Or Holy Nova. He's going to clear the board. I think SilentStorm's going to run away with this game soon. ECOP needs a Doomguard off the top.
That's not a Doomguard.
Yeah, actually, this is somewhat okay. But the Arcanine Soul Priest is actually going to snipe the Knife Juggler.
Yeah. Knife Juggler and Haunted Creeper actually could be a pretty good combo, especially if you draw it early on, but right now, playing that Knife Juggler, you know that it's just going to get something in. Oh, the Cabal Shadow Priest as well.
Alright, well, SilentStorm's got great, absolutely great responses here. If he wants to build up board, he can. If he wants to play Arcanine, shoot it down, it's all viable. Everything's okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the draw.
Wow.
He did leave the Knife Juggler up, which always is a scary moment. But now here are the 200 creepers and the juggles. Okay. So then, do you kill off one of these Dark Cultists beforehand, so that way he doesn't juggle on the same one?
Well,
guess not. He's just, at this stage, he's all in.
Yeah, when you're going down to your 2 draws every turn, trying to find something to be able to get back into the game, knowing that the Priest is going to stabilize at any point in this matchup is just really tough. And he's going to get one of these Haunted Creepers and
he's using like his health as a resource here to pay it, so that way he can grab an advantage later on.
Yeah.
And, like, where are ECOP's Doom Guards?
That's not a Doom Guard. That's heartbreaking to draw at this stage.
Yeah, he can't do anything else, and like he doesn't have even a favorable trade, so he's gonna have to push damage to the face again.
Yeah, that opening draw really hurt ECOP. Only having the Knife Juggler in his starting hand to do anything with, and
wow. I mean, he's that's just so bad.
Yeah.
Like the fact that he can able to shut everything down here.
Yeah.
He might keep it just for the fact that he might have to deal with Doomguard, but I think you can't turn this down personally. You jump up to 21 health, or 19 rather.
And now
you have to get a sweep. Wow, that's just it. How does ECOP climb back? If he got back-to-back Doomguards, would he be able to come back in here, Zuma?
No. Even then, I think it'd be pretty tough.
He's Hellfire.
Yeah. And Nerubian Egg. That's not what he wants. And Voidwalker as well. Where are these Doomguards? And he's going to concede out. Wow, that was a quicker game than I'd have expected. And it was quick from the Priest point of view. He'd corner of that match.
I mean, Priest is one of the best anti-aggro classes.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially if you're putting in Holy Smites. It's just another synergy with Wild Pyromancer. 2 health is usually what most 2 mana cost minions are, so you're able to snipe. Overall, just well done. And things just lined up really perfectly for SilentStorm, but that's what he intended to do.
Yeah.
That's why he brought Priest. He brought Priest to line up against Hunter or Zoo, and he got one of those. So now we enter the blind pick phase. What do we have here? What do you think we're going to be going with for both these players?
So ECOP's running the Priest, the Control Priest, the Hunter, and the Zoo Warlock. And SilentStorm's running the Control Priest and the Control Warrior and the Shaman.
Yep.
So ECOP probably would have the best choice, probably Priest for ECOP.
You think so? You think so?
Yeah, because if a couple of those decks do pretty well against Zoo and Hunter, Shaman has sometimes the chance to really just make a Hunter fall flat on its face, and Priest as well can completely shut down.
I guess if you're comfortable with Priest against Priest. Oh, is that Priest versus Priest?
It's Priest versus Priest.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, I'm gonna do some stretches real quick.
Yep.
Oh,
Can we get a pillow over here?
You could use E-Cup's beard, probably.
E-Cup's beard as a pillow. I'll use my own beard, Frodan. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, you got some scruff going on.
Shave it off and use it as a pillow. Wouldn't be a very comfortable pillow.
Sure.
These chairs are pretty comfy, though.
Alright, well, here we go, guys. This one's going to take a while. As, you know what? This might factor into some fatigue of other players watching, because this tournament is live.
Yeah, E-Cup, he's in Germany right now, right?
I believe so.
It's getting pretty late for him, I'd say.
Yeah, but even for D2, who's in Japan.
Oh, is he in Japan? Back in Japan now? He was still in California as of last week.
Oh, okay, then he might still be in California by now.
So this is like prime Hearthstone time for those Californians.
This matchup could take a while.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at Injured Blade Master Circle of Healing to potentially seal it quicker than that.
Wow, these are very similar hands. Well, not so much. Injured Blade Master. Injured Blade Master is such a key card in the mirror matchup.
Well, here's the funny thing. If you get out Injured Blade Master ahead of your opponent, he can't use it.
Yeah.
Circle of Healing without healing your Injured Blade Master. So this is an awkward situation.
First Injured Blade Master is best Injured Blade Master.
Great turn 2 play from SilentStorm.
Yeah. And
so you got to coin out this Injured Blade Master, and now SilentStorm's like, I want to do that.
Puts a wrench in SilentStorm's plans.
Well, I still think.
Oh!
Wow! Oh!
And
man.
E-Cop throws his hands up in the air, and a guy that stayed so stoic throughout the last couple of matches finally shows a little bit of emotion, maybe a little bit of disgust, but that's rough. That is rough.
That's just really bad on all kinds of levels here, because now the Injured Blade Master is going to come up. It's going to be nasty. Is he thinking about Alkanite just for the curve? Puts out similar powers.
Yeah.
Do you open yourself up to anything, though? I mean, you have to be mindful of... you have to be mindful of, what's it called? Shadow Madness as well, so... Oh, okay, I thought you didn't use a Circle of Healing. I was like, if you didn't use a Circle of Healing, that would have been a...
The end turn, on spectator delay, I've noticed the end turn comes a little bit before the last card is played, so I'm like, oh my god, he just set himself up for Shadow Madness. Whoa!
Okay, so E-Cop now has to bide his time until he has an AoE clear. If you Shadow Madness, it actually kills the Pyromancer.
Oh, yeah. Wait, it triggers on...
It triggers on a Shadow Madness.
Okay, yeah. If the Pyromancer was full health, he actually could have cleared the board there, because he had both Power Word Shields in his hand. So he would have Power Word Shielded once, Power Word Shielded twice, and then it would have been at 4 health. And he would have traded into the Injured Blade Master. But that's a hypothetical.
Okay, E-Cop needs to bide his time until Sylvanas switches next turn.
Yeah.
He has double Power Word Shield.
Yep.
Which is reasonable to keep it alive.
Yep.
That buffs it to 8 health. Still not enough to keep it alive against everything.
That Shadow Madness is still going to be a pretty decent card.
Okay. Circle of Healing is pretty good if he draws his Alkanite Soul Priest.
Okay.
7, 10 damage. Wow.
You just go aggressive, even throw down the Alkanite Soul Priest and just throw everything in face?
Well, I think you don't throw everything, but I think you snipe this this Dark Cultist for sure. I mean, it's a lot of this matchup does depend on the board.
Yeah.
And like health doesn't really truly matter until it comes down to the final points of damage.
Yeah.
Because Priest can't burst.
Most Priests can't burst.
All right. Sylvanas has to come down here.
I have no time.
Most Priests can't. Are you saying that you have a Priest that bursts?
I do have a Priest that bursts.
Mind Blast Valen.
Who was playing it on stream the other day? Somebody was playing a... Oh, it was Noxious. Was playing a Burst Priest.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. He was actually having some success with it. But it was lower ranked. I mean, it was beginning of the season, but it was pretty interesting to watch. He had double Mind Blast, and he was running, I think, some spell power as well, so it was like... He could put out some pretty intense burst. Like
well,
Blood Thanos.
I mean, this is like a reasonable amount of damage too. That you're worried about what's going on.
Yeah. 6 health he's at right now.
All right. There's definitely something you can do here if you're E-Cop. Shadow Madness, Holy Smite. Oh, Shadow Madness and Arcanine Soul Priest clear.
Oh wow! And then, wait, no, he wouldn't be able to. That would be a full board clear, and he'd still be left with the Sylvanas at the end of the day. And no, he could snipe off his opponent's Sylvanas with his own heal.
Okay, so this is what you can do. You can Shadow Madness the Cabal Shadow Priest.
Yep.
You can attack Sylvanas into, or you can attack into the Injured Blade Master with Akanai.
Circle and that would clear the
Circle of
board.
healing. Yeah.
It would even clear your opponent's Akanai.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could even heal up your Sylvanas just for good measure.
You wanna attack with it first, right? Unless he's trying to use this to steal the Injured Blade Master.
And
oh, he's gonna use this to steal the Injured Blade Master. I like this play a lot more.
yeah.
Wow, this is really clever. Well
Injured
done.
Blade Master is such a huge card in this matchup.
You know what's awesome? You get to even heal at the very end of the turn.
Yeah.
Wow, what a great turn from ECOP. And he gets
And
to draw a card.
Just the icing on the cake.
Did he get it? Yeah, he did.
Oh,
well
nice.
played. Oh, he's not gonna draw a card. He's valuing his health too much.
Yeah, well, Holy Fire, Holy Smite would be a...
Well played, sir. Well
Yeah.
played. Finding the good optimal play. Of course, this is, as much as people like to hate otherwise, ECOP is a top caliber player.
Yeah, he's made a couple of those plays so far today.
Yeah.
Definitely very experienced with the Priest, and this is sort of where that point that you were talking about earlier, health does not matter that much. If you can heal up every turn and be able to control the board.
Yeah. Look at SilentStorm's hand compared to ECOP's, assuming their healths are not an issue.
Yeah, yeah.
This is a blowout now.
Yeah. He's going to be able to clear out this Sylvanas. That's another big deal. Another threat out of the way from SilentStorm.
Do you hold on to this this Northshire Cleric, or do you shoot it with the Holy Smite?
I'd probably just shoot it with the Holy Smite. Why not? What else are you going to use that for? He's at 30
Fair
health.
Well, you can also Thought Steal Shadow Word Death. That works for me.
Oh, man. Did he just Thought Steal also?
That's right. So he's got some more card advantage pumping up. This is really bad news for SilentStorm.
That's not going to do too much.
Okay, so he's got a Cabal Shadow Priest. And then I guess he just heals up. But this gives initiative once again back to ECOP.
Yeah, now he can clear pretty well. Sledge Belcher is going to be good for blocking damage, or he could throw down the Ysera. That'd be a little bit... That's really risky, actually.
Yeah. I think it's a little bit unnecessary.
Definitely unnecessary.
You're so far ahead. At this stage, the only way you can truly lose is if you give your opponent a small opening.
Yep.
Like, I still heal yourself here.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, he's out of Holy Fire, Holy Smite range.
I guess you're right.
And what else? He's already seen one Holy Smite, I think. So he knows that there's no opportunity for two to come out.
Actually, if he actually healed himself, this Akanai Soul Priest draw would have cleared the board.
Yeah.
So it's actually a really good heads-up play once again.
Yeah.
I mean, ECOP making all the right moves here.
Yeah. Or even thinking around everything that you could play around, even Akanai, Heal Face,
Right.
Holy Fire, playing around that as well. So.
Well, I was
Just
thinking
really
about
smart
if
play.
there's an alternative to keep onto Holy Nova, but now he's just going to use Akanai Clear.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's down to one card.
I mean, it's a pretty good card.
Shadow Madness could take advantage of the Sludge Belcher. Because Akanai denies him from being able to heal.
Yeah.
This
So
is still a scary moment. In fact, if he gets Holy Fire, Holy Fire is game.
it is.
There's still an opening for SilentStorm. This Priest game has actually been high action.
Oh,
Not a lot of hero power passing.
He's one damage off right now. By if he could Shadow Madness the Akanai.
Oh, that's hilarious. He's
Heal
one damage
face.
off lethal.
He's still pretty healthy though, so these opportunities, if he leaves that Soul Priest alive, that's more opportunities and
Right.
less opportunities for ECOP to be able to heal up every turn.
Yeah, does he just not give an opportunity for it to damage itself?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're saying just pass?
Right, well, do you give an opportunity for your opponent to kill off the Akanai somehow? Okay, so he just damages and kills off the board.
Okay.
He says the board is just too much value. Like, you know, if he has no guarantee of finishing it off.
That's true. That's very true.
You kept hovering over Thought Steal.
I don't know.
I think you don't need more cards in your hand. I think you want just pressure.
Yeah. Just heal up every turn. Play what you can on the board. Don't make too many risks. And identical boards. Identical boards. Identical boards, but ECOP has 4 cards and SilentStorm has 0. So.
Right, and he's got more ways to draw cards.
Yep.
In fact, now that he's here, does he feel safe enough to plop down Ysera?
I would. Well, I don't know. So if he plays the Ysera and trades into the Sledge Belcher, he'd only be able to clear off 1 iteration of the Sledge Belcher next turn, so he'd still be safe. Dream.
Okay. Dream is important for tempo.
What can he get from this Thought Steal?
Mind control. Another Thought Steal.
Thought Steal.
Another Circle of Healing.
Mind control.
Yeah. Yeah, he can draw cards actually. Oh, that's actually a really nice draw. Oh my goodness, that's 4 cards.
Yes, it is. He'll only be left with 3 mana at the end of all this, but I mean, he's at 30 health, so drawing cards is pretty much the best thing that he could do at this point.
Yeah, wow.
And how many cards was that in the deck?
Wait, he needs to attack 1.
13 cards? Oh, they still got...
Oh, he missed out actually. Oh, maybe he just wanted to draw 2 more. Maybe he didn't want to draw too many more. Like, because he could have attacked and then draw another card.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he didn't want to fatigue out. He wanted to pace himself. If he just drew way too many cards, he would have been in trouble probably. So
yeah.
That's SilentStorm's thinking.
Not quite what was planned.
Nope, he actually realized he missed out on the cards. Yep.
It took him a second, but he's like, oh,
okay.
Wait.
Yeah. It's what happens when you rush a little bit. I was like, well, you know, that's the only way I could justify it. It's like I'm playing the even fatigue game, but
yeah.
It's like, why wouldn't you want more cards?
Yeah. Especially since your opponent's at 8 health, so if it did get to fatigue,
okay,
you'd be
so
far ahead.
ECOP needs to take advantage of tempo. He has Ysera on board. He has to keep in mind that his opponent most likely has mind control in the next couple turns, so he has to find a way that he can answer Ysera.
Yeah.
So I think keeping Dream is actually good.
Man, we've seen...
Just on the off chance that his opponent is going to be like, well, you know, I take mind control, but you're in a position to kill.
I think 3 Thought Steals have thought-stolen Thought Steals this game. I've seen way too many Thought Steals than I was comfortable seeing coming into this match.
Alright, well, he's just going to focus on the board, but... This does mean that the mind control belongs to SilentStorm, unless he picks up a better play. Almost instant call before he even draws. Oh.
Whoa!
Oh man, what sorcery is this?
He power word shielded his mind control.
Or he like threw mind control into his power word shield pool. I actually have no clue what's going on here. I guess we're going to switch back POVs then.
Yeah.
Because it looks like spectator mode may have bugged, and we'll probably stay on SilentStorm for the rest of the game here.
Yeah.
So now that ECOP, oh, he has a lot of spells. I think actually he should be able to kill it with Holy Fire.
Yeah, yeah.
So he was prepared to kill. Okay, so he was prepared to deal with the mind control anyways. So that's why he wasn't worried about it, tossing away whatever cards he wants.
Oh, or not. Just gonna go ahead and play the Emerald Drake. Or the Emerald Drake is just gonna float in space for a little bit. I mean, if he would power shield like that, only to not end up playing the Holy Fire, then that seems just a little bit weird. But Emerald Drake seems like a good choice. That's still a tough target to deal with. I like Emerald Drake, getting Emerald Drake from Dream. Almost as much as I like getting Laughing Sister. Almost as much.
I wonder if his opponent has like a Ysera Wake instead of destroying him.
Yeah.
Well, we can't hop on a SilentStorm's POV unless we, I guess, rejoin.
Yeah, yeah.
Spectator of some kind. In the meantime, SilentStorm, we don't know what he drew in his past 2 cards. We do know that He drew a Wild Pyromancer and a Holy Fire.
And a Shadow of Death. And a
I feel like SilentStorm's about to show us a magic trick. He's like, is this your card? Was this your card?
A really bad magic trick because he had to go
card?
through 4 cards.
Is this your card? Oh, okay. I guess this is like what spectator mode sees looks like when you have 2 players. You can see them on friends list. Ooh, Wild Pyromancer clears. Northshire Cleric to heal.
Huh. That's pretty neat.
It is.
And
he's got so much health to play with.
Yeah.
Again, I'm a little curious as to why, but I think, oh, you know what it is? I think ECOP, when he saw that he drew Mind Control,
yeah,
I think he says, I'm going to take Ysera back. He's not aware that his opponent thought stole a Mind Control. Wow, what a powerful turn from SilentStorm. Once again, trying to climb back in here. And then ECOP's going to take this.
Yeah, and that Wild Pyromancer is nightmared. So we'll die at the beginning of the next turn.
This Ysera has been through so much. Her mind's been altered multiple times over, taking fire damage every single which way possible.
She's still pulling dream cards, though.
And SilentStorm has Mind Control number 2, by the way. He's hovering over it. We see Dark Cultist, Thoughtsteal, Dream, Silence. So he's got a pretty good mix of utility cards here. And second Mind Control. ECOP's like, what? You have second Mind Control? Of course, we know that. That was taken off the Thoughtsteal.
Yeah. And he's even got one more for backup as well, just for good measure.
But here's the kill on the Ysera, finally putting her to rest.
she's had a rough night.
Yeah, get some rest. All right, we're back into drawing cards mode.
How many cards are we at in these decks here?
I would say they're definitely in their bottom 5.
4 cards, yeah. 6 cards. On average, that's 5 cards. Well played, Frodan. Well played.
Thank you, thank you. I actually got to look before you said anything, so I sound smart.
You shouldn't have told me that. You shouldn't have told me that. Well.
Thoughtsteal, and he picks up Circle of Healing with Arcanized Soul Priest. He gets the final say, but that means ECOP also has a combo too.
Yeah.
Laying dormant somewhere. This game has actually gotten pretty crazy at this stage. I wonder if Ysera Awakens will be the X factor here.
It could be. Especially, well, I don't know, because he's at a lower health total. He might not be in a position. He's got less cards as well, if I'm correct.
Yes.
So, he'll hit fatigue first.
I don't know if he cares about that compared to the board.
Yeah, his board. I mean, he's the one that's sort of calling the shots now.
Yep, nice puzzle solving. Once again, they clear the board effectively. And ECOP's going to be trying to go for enough damage to the point where he can use Ysera Awakens to do final bits.
Yeah.
But we know... Oh, he draws a Holy Nova! Does he still have his Pyromancer? Let's see. No?
I don't think he does.
Oh, that's too bad.
He's got Laughing
he can
Sister.
silence the 3-2 and then Holy Nova.
So he's got Holy Nova, Arcanized, Circle of Healing, Laughing Sister.
No, he's got a great turn. He's got silence on the 3-3.
Yeah.
Holy Nova, and then play one of the 3 mana drops.
Okay. With the Laughing Sister.
Laughing Sister or Dark Cultist.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Laughing Sister is slightly better because it sticks.
Yeah. And if eventually when the Dark Cultist, if it does get its buff off and buffs that Laughing Sister, that Laughing Sister can be tough to
deal. Someone behind SilentStorm's like asking him like, "How's your game going?" He's like, "Not now, man."
I've been in this priest versus priest matchup for 4 hours.
It's like, because the funny thing was SilentStorm was playing the Open Finals yesterday, and they're like, "Weren't you playing this yesterday?" He's like, "Yeah."
It was actually ECOP behind him. ECOP had enough time during this match to fly all the way to wherever SilentStorm lives. Go behind him.
He's going Alkanized Circle combo. He's going to keep Holy Nova. I think he wants to do... I think he values the health gain as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, he values the silence very clearly. The silence might be his ticket.
Oh, well, we've hit the... This is what ECOP has to work with right now.
That's actually pretty funny that Thoughtsteal comes in the hand. Why would you Thoughtsteal now? Unless you're worried about his opponent. Oh, he might be worried that you might not to Thoughtsteal anything. It might be just like a dead card.
Yeah. So those mind controls don't exist. Correct?
Yes.
He
The
didn't have
cards
to
you
use both
see
of
on
those.
your screen right now, it's just the effect of the delayed.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got two of the worst cards imaginable.
Yeah. At this point, it's just a liability to play a Northshire Cleric. That's going to sit dead in his hand.
Well, it is until it becomes the final minion on board.
Yeah. An extra 1 damage each turn. You're staying 1 fatigue ahead, basically. Okay.
Well, SilentStorm has the silence, which he kept tucked away. He still has another minion with the Dark Cultist, but he's going to draw closer to that. Oh, I didn't know he had a Cabal Shadow Priest. I was going to draw closer to Northshire Cleric.
Oh, he's going to use the Dream as well.
Wow. I think this tempo is too much. Like, how is he supposed to do the damage necessary? He's already on fatigue damage.
Yeah, and this is just more... he's just stalling for time right now. SilentStorm's just stalling for time. The longer he can control the board and absorb damage, the better. He's still got 3 cards left, right?
Yeah. Oh, and ex0p can't heal and play Organize, so he has to give up the opportunity cost of using his hero power for 1 turn. Don't do it. Don't do it.
And he doesn't.
His last 2 cards we know are Northshire Cleric and Shadow Word Death.
Which is rough for both these guys. Now this is where real decision making comes into play.
Well, he still can just play Keep Away. Holy Fire and then Cabal Shadow Priest the 1/2.
Yeah.
Wait, he has a second silence? Oh no, Oh, he's got Holy Fire direct damage to the face.
Is that 2 fatigue or 3 fatigue?
It's 2 fatigue.
Okay. Wow.
But he can't do anything as long as his Akanai is still alive, so
he has to kill him
on his last turn.
Yeah, well, he can heal with Holy Nova. He can heal up. Well, no, he can't. He'll be dead, and that's it with the Akanai. Wow. Such a crazy back and forth game.
ex0p takes the series.
ex0p had control of that game from the get-go, it seemed. Well
actually,
it was rough for him first, and then he gained it back for like 3 turns, and then he lost it again. It was rough. The Pyromancer Holy Smite at the beginning was really bad for him, and a huge tempo swing in
the
SilentStorm's
double
favor.
mind control.
Yeah,
it was really rough too.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you know, that does it for the last quarterfinal. SilentStorm advances, and ex0p's out of the tournament, at least for this time around, unless he wants to try again next week. Then we have 4. We have Lothar and Brian Kibler and D2 and SilentStorm. That was a very entertaining game and series with a lot of like, well, what happens here in this moment type of ordeal. But that's always what Priest brings.
Yeah, Priest vs. Priest is a lot of just creative moves, especially the very control-heavy Priests. There's a lot of different options that you can make every turn, and things like plays with Pyromancer and Shadow Madness. You can really see those plays come out. And I think ex0p actually played really, really well. And he made a lot of really good moves in a situation where he was behind most of the game. So really props to him. Of course, he won't be moving on. This is single elimination. So he could play in the open bracket next week, or open bracket tomorrow, and make it in. But we'll have to see if he decides to do that. But the 4 players that are moving on, this is a really strong semifinal lineup. So I'm looking forward to watching that.
That's right. Well, you guys can definitely check out that cup tomorrow at esl.gg/legendary series. If you want to sign up to play in the Saturday Cup, all you have to do is go through the open bracket, get top 4, and qualify for it. Then as well, we want to thank our sponsors at esl.gg/Newegg Esports, to Western Digital and Crucial. Go ahead and check out all the stuff that they have at newegg.com. After we take a few minutes to reset, we start the semifinals to determine who are going to get the top 2 spots for an invite back for post-GVG ESL Cup Legendary Series. So stay tuned, guys. We'll be back right after this.